An album a day is my exploration into the Korean music scene. This podcast will cover mainstream, indie, and some underground artists within the scene and provide both factual and opinionated commentary. The biggest benefit to sharing my thoughts this way is that it will hopefully expose you to more great music and exploration of your own. It's a new week. The infamous fan blowing in the background. Things are good. This is day 6, number 6 of our 2019 Rookie Roundup. We've come so far, and today we are looking at rookies Ting Ting, Treasure 13, who just had their name changed to Treasure, TXT, and Super Rookies SuperM. And I'm not even going to get into too much detail about them because they were literally the first special episode we've ever done on the show. So they definitely have some kind of following. And we got all guys this time. There's no girl groups this time. So let's get into it, shall we?
루키 라운드업 쇼 스타트.
Alrighty. So we're getting into it. Doop. We got 4 groups. And the first one we're going to look at is a trio. Oh, you gotta excuse me. I'm making old lady noises. See, I'm actually doing this when I'm wide awake instead of first thing in the morning, just giving it a different try, seeing if it'll help me articulate better because we struggle. So we're looking at a trio. They're called Teen Teen. Not Teen Top, not Teenager, none of that, just Teen Teen. And they're with Maru Entertainment. They debuted on September 18th, 2019. So they are some latecomers, just like SuperM will be. So they're late into the game, so they still got a long way to go before we reach their 1-year anniversary. And the members consist of Lee Jin-woo, Lee Tae-seung, and Lee Woo-jin. So it's E Brothers 3. It's kind of dope. Their first project was called Very On Top. They were all members and produced X One-on-One. And Lee Jin-woo finished in 22nd place. Woo-jin was in 41st. And Tae-seung in 53rd, respectively. So with their first project, Very On Top peaked at 6 actually on the Korean charts when they did their debut. That's the only project they have. It's youthful, it's playful, it's a reflection of young men who will have to grow into their vocal strength, grow into their vocal choices. The arrangement is very complimentary for young gentlemen. So although not my personal cup of tea, nothing wrong with the group. I do hope that, especially with them being a trio, that they experience a very long and prosperous career, because it's a lot easier sharing the stage with just 2 other people than it is with a whole gaggle of folks. And those aren't bad numbers when you really look at it for what it is. But when we want to continue down the route of competition, then a group that certainly is getting current buzz because it's drawing near to their debut time is Treasure 13, or now currently Treasure. They're on YGE, which is basically YG Entertainment, and they had a tumultuous 1.5 without a shadow of a doubt. They had a reality survival program. So we just have to accept that this is just the way of life when it comes to getting these new groups developed and whatnot. They were on a survival program, YG Treasure Box, which intentionally was about these gentlemen and getting them ready for pre-debut. The group currently has 12 members, but when it was on the show, when they were on the show, it was originally 13. And that's how they ended up with the name Treasure 13. Much to the chagrin of anything that goes along with numbers, like you have 9 Muses, who it'll be quite some time before we get to that group, but 9 Muses didn't have 9 members. 17 doesn't have 17 members. So the numbers don't necessarily have to correlate with what exactly is going on. But within the past 2 weeks or so, in recent time, again, at the time of this recording, it is January 12th, 2020. This is the January 13th, 2020 episode. Within these past 2 weeks of this first month of 2020, we have heard about these gentlemen getting prepared for their debut. So Some of them have been at this for a long time. There's a member, his name is Yidam. He was on K-Pop Star 2. That was 2012. And he was the runner-up to his eventual label mates, Akdong Musician. Akdong Musician won that year. So this young man has been in pursuit of this for a very long time. He was also a part of this massive taekwondo demonstration team, K Tigers, who, if you are familiar with me from YouTube and not specifically just from this podcast, at one point in time, I used to do a lot of video reactions to their content because they like to take their own martial arts approach to the choreography of their performances to K-pop music. They will incorporate some of the choreography from the pop videos into their actual demos. It's one of the coolest things ever. There's also some of the trainees who appeared on Mnet Stray Kids. So we hear a lot about them through this whole rookie conversation that we've been having, both with Racha, the actual members from Stray Kids, as well as just touching base on other rookies in general. Like, there's a lot of crossover. No one is just out here dangling in the pre-debut island wins alone. It's a lot of connectivity. It's a lot of connection. The other thing, what was the other reality show? Mix 9. Oh boy. Mix 9 had 2 participants from the group finish in 5th and 35th place respectively. So there's a lot of effort that was made in becoming the group that they are. And the members, and I'm just going to name everyone off just because who knows what might happen with the one member who was dismissed. So I'm going to name him first. That just seems like the best thing to do so that I don't forget him. Because, boy, that just kind of messed up. Like, you out here doing the best that you can, and then you just mess around and you get forgotten. So let's pull up everyone's names, not just what I see in front of me. Treasure K-pop members. Good old Google, which is also going to pull it straight from Naver. And I would use Naver right now, but currently my phone thinks Naver is trying to infiltrate it. I don't know why, but let's pull it up. I don't want to dismiss the member who is not a part of it. Now, at one point in time, let me be a little bit more specific with you. At one point in time, a lot of the buzz around the gentleman were the fact that the group was getting calmed down to 7 members from the original 13. But when announcements were made recently, it had a full 12 member lineup, which is extremely exciting because, you know, you fall in love with these groups. You're supporting them pre-debut. They're dancing, singing, and performing their hearts out. And then you get the group hacked into pieces, and you don't have everyone that was originally there. And that's a hard pill to swallow. So it went from 13 to 7 to eventually deciding that 12 is efficient enough. They're not going to split them up. I've got my own opinions about that, given the circumstances. There's a lot of things going on at YG Entertainment, but I want to start first with the member who was dismissed. His name was Ha Yoon Bin. Ha Yoon Bin, or his English name is Ben Ha. He was a rapper, and he was a part of the Magnum unit. Now, I'll get a little bit more into the unit shortly, but I want to make sure to name all these gentlemen. So let's go through this. I'm going to read the English pronunciation. So even though the first name I'm looking at literally is Choi, it's Choi for us. So Choi Hyun-suk, Park Ji-hoon, Kim Jung-kyu, Yoshi, Mashio. Oh, I like that. Mashio? That's different. Yoon Jae-hyuk, Asahi, which tickles me half to death because there's a drink named that. Bang Ye-dam, Bang Ye-dam, Kim Do-young, Haruto, Park Jo-gu, and So Jung-hwan. So we got, just by name selection alone, we got a lot of cultural diversity going on. I see. We have rapper, vocalist, rapper, vocalist, rapper. It's only 3 rappers in the group. It would have been 4 had the one member not been dismissed. So it appears that they are divided up in different units. You have the treasure unit, which I'm assuming is going to be now at this point, because it's 12 of them, that's probably the main leader-esque one, which does have the leader. You have the treasure unit, you have the magnum unit, and even within those, there's a little bit of some division as well. So some of the gentlemen are strictly on the treasure side, and they're rapping, they dance, or they're the vocalist and the dancer, whatever the case may be, blah, blah, blah. But we got a lot going on with these young men. I've only heard the one song they have available. It's called Going Crazy, Michigane. And it was actually compiled in 2018, but performed in anticipation of their debut. So that does constitute as their debut song. It's catchy. It's not high on my list, but it's because it's so many people, and it takes me a moment to kind of adjust to all of that. I do it with every group. This is not something that's just particular to them. I still count all the members of 17 because my brain can't handle it. It's just a lot of people. I still count Super Junior. Anything that has more than 7, it takes a moment. I count Girls' Generation. I count twice, even though I know it's 9, and technically sometimes they perform with 7 or 8 of them. I have to do it. So just giving you a little bit of background about these young men, and they are young. You've got a Korean leader. You have some members who are Japanese. Yoshi, particularly. I mean, the name was a dead giveaway. I want to see if there's any other nationalities represented. All right, so Takara Mashio is Japanese, and we have... Oh, well, no wonder. Well, that really is his name. So, Asahi, Hanada Asahi. I know I just said the emphasis incorrectly. I know I did. But I was just talking about how his name was the name of a Japanese drink, and lo and behold, that's a Japanese member. So, whoop for that. It looks like it's just solely Korean and Japanese. Watanabe Haruto. He's a handsome young man. That's not bad. So, just the same as any other group who has a massive member profile, you're going to have someone who appeals to somebody. There's an idol for someone, no matter what. I want to see if we have any confirmation on their actual debut day. There is a promo photo of all 12 of them. 12 of them? We were on a roll, y'all, for a moment until that happened. 12 of them. All 12 of them recently popped up in a photo, but there's still not a solid goal for when their debut will be. It just says early 2020. So I guess we just have to continue to anticipate. There's going to be some things that overlap in their performance quality that's going to remind us of Winner and Icon. But that's just because of the influences of where they are. YG Entertainment definitely maintain some consistency with the influences from one boy group to another, whether they intend to do so or not. Moving on from there, we're leaving YG Entertainment and we go over to Big Hit Entertainment, who just made news by announcing that they are doing a merger with Pledis Entertainment, which is home to 17 and Newest. And it used to be home to a few other artists, but things have changed. So we're looking at one of the youngest, one of the newest babies in the bunch at that company, Big Hit, Tomorrow X Together, also known as TXT. They're a 5-member South Korean boy band. I got to see them perform. They debuted March 4th, 2019, and I got to see one of their early performances. It was so exciting. The members are Yeonjun, SuperM, Bomgyu, Taehyun, and Hyunin Kai. And these young men have a lot of energy, a lot of charisma. They have their own unique colors, which a lot of people who are fans of BTS, their label mates, were very concerned about. We didn't want a carbon copy of that, but we did not know if they'd be able to soar and excel on their own with so much pressure, like you're the next group to come out of this label, despite the fact that there have been other groups, many new people to K-pop by way of BTS. are only aware that, okay, BTS is the biggest group on that label, and then there might be some other people. So there was a lot of implied pressure. In Korean, the name is Tomorrow Batukut. I read too fast. Tomorrow by together. So it's tomorrow by together, and translated into Hangul, they just put the X. So tomorrow by together, tomorrow X together, TXT. I was literally giving you the Hangul when I said that's why I say bye. Tomorrow, so tomorrow by together. They do not have a separate Korean version of their name. And according to many websites, the meaning behind Tomorrow by Together is the 5 individuals who, quote, come together under one dream in hopes of building a new tomorrow. Yeah, I did that unnecessary echo. That comes straight from Big Hit's website. That's not me just drawing my own conclusion as to why they said that. And they do, the members, not they as in Big Hit, but they, the members, like to be called by that full name. They like to hear Tomorrow by Together instead of being called TXT. But for all intents and purposes for this, because it is a mouthful, we're going to go with not disrespecting them. They say they want to be called by their name, so we're going to call them Tomorrow by Together. Like, what if they listen to this? The odds of that is absolutely insane. But like, did we not have an episode not too long ago where I said, I can't stand it when you have the opportunity to say someone's name correctly and then you go and butcher it? They have said in an interview, on a TV interview, that they prefer to be called by their group's full name. So we are going to, from this point on, refer to them as Tomorrow by Together. Anywho, they debuted March 4th, 2019, like I said, but they had pre-debut activities. They did a lot of things on YouTube, which were called their introduction films, to really get people interested in them and committed to supporting these young men. And they did their debut broadcast via Mnet, which is common for a lot of people. You get to do a debut special or a comeback special. We see a lot of that with more senior groups. It was also aired on Mnet's YouTube page. So it made a really easy vibe for being able to support both domestic and international fans to really see their performance and get behind them. They had their debut song. It was called Crown. And it broke records like right off bat in 24 hours for a boy group. It had the most K-pop debut music videos views ever. So, the support was there immediately. Immediately. They also released their first studio album titled The Dream Chapter Magic on October 21st, 2019. And then this year already, the gentlemen on the 15th, so a matter of days, will make their Japan debut, and they'll do it with a song called Magic Hour. In April 2019, they did have an opportunity to do a U.S. tour, which was like really, really cool. And I do recall seeing the details about that while abroad. So they hit New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, Dallas, Orlando, and Atlanta. And the tickets for this show were stated to have been sold out in less than 10 minutes. So yeah, they got a lot of support behind them. I know recently they acquired a music show win, or at least I assume so. I swear I saw that. I know for one thing, they're definitely nominated for quite a bit of things from their debut year, as well as have won quite a few. They've gotten the Rookie of the Year from the Asia Artist Awards, as well as Male Rookie Idol of the Year for Brand of the Year awards. They have won Breakthrough Award for Best International Debut and New Artist of the Year from the Gaon Chart Music Awards. They got Best New Male Artist for Genie Music Awards, Rookie Artist of the Year from Golden Disc, and for Melon, they won Rookie of the Year, Best New Male Artist, and for Mama Worldwide Fans Choice Top 10, which a lot of people got that. Like, I'm not trying to discredit that, but other groups that I love and adore also obtained that as well. They had the Soribata Best K Music Award for Rookie, as well as V Live Awards for Global Rookie Top 5. I'm not even reading the things they've been nominated for. So Tomorrow by Together is making their stance known. They're dynamic on stage. I was very blown away. I hadn't heard anything whatsoever until their live performance because I knew I was going to see them live. So I didn't want to spoil, create any opinions in advance based off of what I've heard from an album. I wanted to see it, and they bring the energy. So I really hope that they have a long career. And finally, Lord Jesus. Finally, South Korean pop supergroup by SM Entertainment and Capitol Music Group, SuperM. Sometimes referred to as SuperM, but whatever, we're not going to talk about that. The group includes 7 dynamic, electrifying, Magic the Gathering members from 4 SM boy bands. You have Shiny represented by Michael Taman Jackson. You have EXO represented by vocalist Baekhyun, aka Slab of Bacon, and Devil Dancer Kai. You have NCT 127 technically represented by the creature Taeyong and Mr. NCT himself, Mark. And then you have NCT as a whole, NCT 2018, Look at All Them Chickens, represented by both those two, as well as Ten and Lucas. But they were kind enough, logical enough, gracious enough to let Wavy get additional shine by acknowledging that Ten and Lucas belong to that subunit. And the thing, my loves, my listeners, we won't be talking about Wavy on this podcast at all because Wavy contributes and entertains the Mando pop, the Chinese pop media. And I want to because Wavy made a splash their debut year. They're doing phenomenal, but we'll just have to talk about them by way of SuperM. Their debut day was October 4th, 2019. They dropped SuperM, their self-titled EP. We was jopping all over the globe. The song jopped itself. That was their lead single, Jopping. The song jopped itself into a baseball advertisement a few moments before their video dropped. Like, the money put into this, the quality, the energy, the support that Baekhyun has to handle, keeping all of these chicken nuggets in line while he vocally holds this group down. I'm a fan. You can hear it in my voice. You can hear it in the way that I'm explaining them. It was like mid 2019 when there were rumors that this was going to happen. And even before that, like, all these things were in the works. And some of the members in the group didn't even know it was going to come to what it ended up being. And it's just, they're great. They are every piece of what you expect from the stereotypical side of K-pop. High octane performance, people not understanding why we're losing our mind and being judgmental in the tabloids and whatnot. Yes, I'm picking fun because this is my show and I can do that at things that have already transpired several months ago. People not necessarily understanding what the allure is, what the excitement is of seeing this massive group. It's really, really, really cool. And they put on a phenomenal performance. I was lucky enough to attend their first domestic tour stop, and they are created and crafted to bring the Hallyu to the Western consumers first. Yes, they do their performances and things and whatnot over in Korea, but they are catering to Western consumers. They are marketed for us. And it's just really dynamic. It's really exciting. I don't want to wax too poetically about it because, yes, I can be a fan, but I also need to be discerning in the commentary that I provide. And by the time we get to SuperM several months from now, we'll be able to talk about some more of their endorsements, the diversity between the 2 albums, because we only have one currently from October, but there is another one on the horizon because they're getting ready to go back on tour. Oh my God. So yeah, I'm excited. Shout out to those of you who saw any of their performances and you are anxiously waiting, like the rest of us, for Dangerous Woman to hurry up and drop and Lucas's solo. We need the studio version of the creature rapping to his GTA. Like, it's a lot of things going on that I will continue to be excited talking about them. And I hope that they're not a concept. I was referring to them as such initially, but I hope that this super group has a lot in store for us until it's time for everyone to start doing their professional enlistments and all the other obligations that they have to their country. So that's it. Our next episode is the last of the rookie roundup. We've come so far. We've come so far. This has been so much fun. It felt like it was just astronomical for me to chew off initially, but now that we're almost done, it's a good feeling. And I had a lot to say in this one because I had more familiarity with two of the groups at least. So after we do our final rookie roundup, as promised, I will give you my top 5 out of all these 20 plus rookies that I feel like should definitely be ones to watch. And to be fair, I will not refer to rookie groups or subunits where the artists are already established. So that takes out XOSC, that takes out Just Two, and that takes out SuperM. It's just not fair. It's absolutely not fair because favoritism is going to play into that, and I don't want that. We want this to be clean, objective, And then when we're finished with Wookiee Roundup, wow, so I'm clearly Chewbacca. When we're finished with Rookie Roundup, after tomorrow's episode, we will explore a group called 4L. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Bye, y'all. Your favorite foreign Korean music historian exploring all the industry from A to Z. There's sponsored ads and social media hashtags, but this show is truly supported by the efforts of my McWallas, the most amazing fan base a little entertainer could ever have. Special shout out to my Patreon patrons, the student body, and the scholars who keep my vision of becoming your favorite Korean music historian exploring all the industry from A to Z a real thing. If you're interested in supporting the growth of this podcast and supporting content, please visit patreon.com/multifacetedACG. And for as little as $1 a month, you can get in on the magic too. Interested in continuing your support at the free $99 price? I love you for it. You can still engage with the show when you retweet, repost, and share the show and use hashtag A3 and the word DAY. You can also tag MULTIFACETEDACG to get my attention. And if you're listening to this podcast on a platform other than Anchor.fm, please leave a few stars or a review to keep things growing in the right direction.